Yes, my best friend in the entire world. Procrastination has led me to another poorly filmed metal ranking. So, guys, today I'm just going to jump straight into this. Guys, we're doing Children of Bodom. We're doing all 10 of their studio albums. I'm doing this from the top of my head. I've got 10 studio albums here to rank. Now, let me get into my little backstory real quick. I've already posted a video like this on my other channel, but I'm going to post literally the exact same video, but from me 6 months older. And honestly, I've matured a lot since then. Like, if you watch that video and you watch this video, you'll notice, like, a huge difference in me. So, guys, I wanted to expand my love for metal. I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I was a huge fan of like Avenged Sevenfold and Disturbed, and I wanted to go heavier. And the first one that I could come across was Children of Bodom, because one of my Twitch streamers that I like to watch made a video where he did like a Clone Hero endurance challenge, and I was like, oh, he subtitled all the band names, so let me go back and see which ones sound good, and let me go check them out. So I checked out Children of Bodom, and Hate Crew Death Roll was the first Children of Bodom album that I listened to all the way through. I was literally sitting in my room playing Minecraft on that TV right back there, and I was just listening to this album all the way through and focusing in on it as I was building. And when I got done with that one, I said, damn, that was pretty good, and I went straight into Follow the Reaper. So those are the first 2 albums that I heard by Children of Bodom, and then this became one of my favorite metal bands. It definitely opened me up to the genre of melodic death metal, and I think that this was a very appropriate band to go ahead and do a ranked episode on. And I'm kind of doing this one out of the blue. I know it's not going to be very organized. This might honestly be a better video than I have put out on this channel yet. I kind of feel pretty good tonight. I think that this is going to be 100% honest. I think that this will be a good video. So let me just go ahead and jump with this right out of the gate. Their 2005 album, Are You Dead Yet, comes in my number 10 spot. This just isn't their typical sound to me. Honestly, like, if you take this and compare this to their first 4 albums, it just wasn't as good. Granted, it's still good. There's not a single album by this band that I cannot sit and listen to the entire thing all the way through. Are You Dead Yet is a great example of that, because I can sit there and listen to that album all the way through. Granted, it is my least favorite, but there are a couple bangers on that track. The opening track, like the title track. It's just, it was an okay album. Like, I listened to it on a road trip, and I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't as good as the other ones. Okay, moving on to number 9. Now, the reason I put this one in number 9, rather than number 10, I gave them a little bit of leniency here, because the 2015 I Worship Chaos was the one that came out in my number 9 place. The reason I put this one number 9 instead of number 10 is because the album art looks better. They put out a DVD for it, so you know they were trying. And 3, Alexei had to do a lot of the work on this album near the end, like 2 weeks of getting this album out, because due to some unfortunate events, they had to lose their guitar player. So Alexei had to basically go in and record all of the guitar parts by himself, which is a completely ridiculous, fucking incredible accomplishment. So props to him. Also, rest in peace. That's another reason I'm doing this video, is because I know there's not a ton of videos. Like, there's not a ton of ranked videos out there. So here I am doing Children of Bodom, and rest in peace, Alexei Leaho. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Probably not, at least. But, number 8. In number 8, I'm going to have to put Blood Drunk. This was better than Are You Dead Yet? It definitely reset the mood for Children of Bodom. It was a lot more melodic than Are You Dead Yet? And I think that it was kind of nice that they refined their sound a little bit there. And to me, it was an alright album. Blood Drunk was a really good song. The first track was a really good song as well. I'm pretty sure Blood Drunk wasn't first. Again, I'm doing this all off the top of my head, guys. It's been a while since I've listened, to be honest, but There are a few really good tracks on Blood Drunk. I would definitely recommend listening to any of their studio albums. So coming in at number shit, I'm sitting here trying to remember. Yeah, number shit. I'm sitting here trying to remember all their albums. Okay, I think I got it. So number 7 for me is gonna have to be, I don't even remember the album name. Reckless Relentless Fever or Relentless Reckless Fever. I don't remember what it's called, but the first 3 tracks of this album were fucking incredible. Not My Funeral is an amazing song. Absolutely amazing. I can crank that with the windows down all summer and never get bored of that song. I thought it was a pretty good album. I actually really liked this one. And, you know, this, I guess, Blood Drunk was the last album that I really couldn't get super into. So, my final 7 are kind of where it's at for me, that I can pick up an album and actually, like, truthfully enjoy it. But yeah, I gotta put that one in 7th place. Those first 3 songs just grab you, and then you kind of just stay hanging on for the rest of the album. I really enjoyed Not My Funeral. Like, that is probably one of my favorite Children of Bodom songs. So yeah, that's where that came into place in my ranking. So coming in at number 6 for me would be Halo of Blood. I believe that came out in 2013. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think there are definitely some really good songs on that album as well. I'm trying to remember the name of the song again. Like Screaming in Silence or Screams for Silence. Something like that. Really good song. Really good song. I would recommend this whole album. This is just a great album in general. That's all I really have to say about Halo of Blood. I was not really expecting this album. Like, I had listened to their discography and I noticed that, like, okay, they kind of lost it a little bit from, like, 2005 to when they came out with this one. And I really enjoyed this album almost equally as much as the number 7 spot. So that's kind of where those albums stand for me. Going into number 5, I got to go with their most recent one. And their last one, due to not only Alexi's death, but I'm pretty sure they were going to scrap Children of Bodom there at the end and go on with Bodom After Midnight. Sorry, I'm kind of just rubbing my face right now. But I'm not going to edit this out because I want you guys to see the real shit. This is a raw-ass channel with some raw-ass elements. And let's just do it real, guys. Also, let me hear your guys' rankings down below. I definitely want to hear this shit. I fucking love it when you guys give me your personal opinions. I fucking love it when you argue with me, so go ahead and argue with me. Like, if there's something you disagree on, I want to hear it. You know, I want to know how you stand on it, because I respect it. I respect your guys' opinions, especially when it comes to fucking music. So, Hexed, 2019. I think this is their 5th best album, in my personal humble opinion. I think that they basically took every single... I don't know if they knew this was going to be their last album when they were recording it, but it almost feels like they did, because they took every fucking element from Bodom, all the way from 1997 to 2019, and just threw it into one album, and I think it was absolutely incredible. It was worth the 4-year wait, to be honest, from I Worship Chaos to Hexed. I think it was definitely the best album they had put out since 2003. It really was a great album. And I had to purchase it on CD when I saw it, like, in the store, because I just knew how great it was. And honestly, that was one of my top 3 for the longest time, until I got super into their earlier albums. Speaking of which, going into number 4, the first Bodom album I ever listened to, Hate Crew Death Roll. Extremely heavy, extremely melodic. It's not as melodic as their previous 3 albums, but I gotta put it in number 4, because it is just absolutely incredible. All the way through, you catch yourself just fucking headbanging and enjoying the shit out of it. It doesn't sound as mythical as the first 3 albums that they put out from 97 to 2000, but it sounds just as good in other ways. I gotta say that I would choose the other 3 over it. Really, that's the only thing that's kind of like holding that album back for me. Incredibly heavy album. If you just want to absolutely go absolute hammerhead, like fucking ape shit when you listen to an album, listen to Hate Crew Death Roll. It is really good. Really, really good album. Top 3 is where it actually gets really hard for me. These fluctuate a lot. But I gotta say that in number 3 comes Follow the Reaper. I think it's an incredible album. To me, a lot of it sounds the same. I don't know if that's a very boomer thing to say. But in my opinion, a lot of it does sound the same. And especially in the later songs. Like, you get Follow the Reaper, you get Bodom After Midnight. That third song, to me, for some reason, isn't as memorable. Then you get, like, Every Time I Die and the shit that follows. I thought it was a great album. A really amazing album. It was the second one I ever heard by them. Absolutely. It just sounds amazing. Every element that they threw into that album. But I think that it was okay, here, this is my theory, and I don't know if this is true or not. But this was kind of Children of Bodom's golden sound, and I think that this was a reflection of the album that I have in first place. But let me get into this in a second. So coming in at number 2 is Something Wild. This album, for me, is really fucking groundbreaking. Yes, there are parts of it that sound very unorganized, as it probably was. Most of the band members were still in high school, from what I recall. Like, the lead singer was 17 when this album was written. That's fucking incredible. That they came out with something like this in, like, high school, early college years. That's fucking insane. Like, we have a high school band at my high school, and I know that they work hard, but they are specifically thrash. And to imagine a group coming out with this at age 17, 18, whatever they all were, is insane. And I think that this is probably one of the best unique sounding albums that I've ever heard. When I first listened to Something Wild all the way through, I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. Like I said, especially for coming out with it when they were that young. But the tones in that album, the vocals in that album, a lot of people don't like, but I absolutely fell in love with. I just think that this is an incredible, groundbreaking album, and I think that for a band first starting off, that this is one of the best first albums a band that I know of has put out, in my opinion. So Something Wild came in second. So that means that coming in first place for me, hello? Jesus, I forgot the name of the album. Guys, I'm tired. It's been a long day. But Hate Breeder. What I was going on about earlier is that I think Follow the Reaper was kind of like the scrapped songs of Hate Breeder, because it kind of gives off a similar sound, but it was only released a year after, so it makes you wonder if they took those songs and then immediately released a, like a album of the songs they didn't put in that. That's my theory. I don't know shit about that, but that's kind of what came to my head when I thought about this. But again, it's all good. There's really not a song in those two albums, Hate Breeder and Follow the Reaper, that aren't good. Hate Breeder to me sounds like a mashup of just extreme heavy melodic metal with like, I picture pirates and shit when I hear that. Like, when I hear some of the songs from that album play, there's just not a single song from Hate Breeder that I don't enjoy. The album art is gorgeous. The entire execution of the album is extremely consistent, and that's what I look for in an album. I think it was an absolutely incredible album, and it was definitely groundbreaking, because while Something Wild was an incredible album, this was a huge step forward in Children of Bodom history. And to me, I think for a band to define their sound that early, I think they kind of lost it after Hate Crew Death Roll. That's my honest opinion. But I think they truly defined their sound in those first 3 albums. And then they took a cool-ass fucking turn into the heavy shit with Hate Crew Death Roll. And then after that, it was kind of slumpy until Hexed. So, yeah, that's my honest ranking on Children of Bodom. Rest in peace, Alexi. Again, guys, let me know exactly what your guys' list is from worst to best down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. So, that's my honest ranking. I hope y'all don't hate me too much for my opinions. And you fallen angels, my fellow metalheads, I will see you guys in the next video. Which, a little bit of what's the word? Foreshadowing. I plan on doing a full ranked list of Lamb of God because I just did a review on Omens. And I think that we should take that album into account into the full discography ranking of Lamb of God. So this week, starting tonight, Sunday night, when this video is uploaded, I will be listening to all of their studio albums all the way through again. And I will be coming out with a video, hopefully Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday at the earliest. So we'll see what happens. I'll get back to you guys on that. So you guys enjoy yourselves. Have a great night, morning, evening, day, whatever the fuck it is. And I will see you guys in the next video in about 5 days. So rock on.